Hi, welcome to the post-house show, The Post-Op. Today we will be discussing tonight's episode, specifically the scene with Dr. House and the dying patient. Tonight we're joined by Dr. House himself. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Really great to be here.
Very emotional episode tonight. Let's take a look at the clip.
Ischemic cardiomyopathy. If the blood's not reaching your gut, you'd have intestinal hyperperfusion. It'd be stronger than the narcotics.
The nurse said I might only have a day or two left.
She was being kind.
You're Dr. House, aren't you?
Oh, God, don't tell me we used to date.
The limp. Yeah, I read about you. I sent you a letter before they knew what was wrong. Tried to get you to take my case.
Yeah, well, you should have kept reading. Heart disease is kind of below my pay grade.
It started as tooth pain. No one got it that it was a heart problem. Till I had a series of massive heart attacks. This doesn't bother you.
You talking with your mouth full? A little.
I meant the fact that you're standing here watching me die because of my file bored you.
I take maybe 1 in 20 cases. A lot of the people I turn down end up dying. It's really a good argument for there being more than one me. You think?
So first of all, you're locked in a room with a patient because of a hospital lockdown. You could have saved him by taking his case but didn't. How did that feel?
As a doctor, you have to learn to let go. I take the most urgent cases that only I could help. And at the time, it was a common case of heart disease, something that any doctor could try to help. Just like any doctor, you have to do what's best for the common good.
Let's take a look at another scene.
The next few hours are going to be grim. Be nausea, pain, no company as soon as I can get myself out of here. I can unlock the regulator. You can put yourself in a narcotic haze, sleep blissfully to the end.
Oh, is that a favor to me or to you?
Win-win.
No, thanks.
You offer turning off the patient's regulator. How would you legally justify that?
First off, what I offered would technically be illegal, as no process for physician-assisted suicide was followed. As well, because I was actually turning off the regulator, it would be euthanasia, which is outlawed across the United States. The difference is, in physician-assisted suicide, the doctor can't actually administer the lethal dose. But this situation was a good overall view on my view of PAS, or physician-assisted suicide. Clearly, nothing could be done at the time for the patient, and he was in a lot of pain and was clearly going to die. I have an obligation to do what's best for the patient, and the best thing that could be done was to end his suffering right then and there, so I made an offer. There was no quality of life left, so that was the humane option.
Very interesting. What would you say to those who want to ban PAS because it treats patients as if they have a life not worth living?
Well, I would say to open your eyes and look at the patient. Simply having a heartbeat does not mean the patient is truly living. Someone confined to a bed waiting death should have the option to opt out. It is not saying their life is worthless. It's saying that they have already lived a good life, and the rest of their life they can just be finished with and end the pain.
Here, you try to warn the patient of what's to come, yet he refuses. Can you give us a comment on why someone would want to go through this pain?
Well, people refuse this option, the option of PAS, for a variety of reasons. Some have religious objections, some want to not give up, and some, like this patient, feel like they have some unfinished business. All are fine personal objections, but none are valid reasons why this option should not be available to others who want it. Maybe if this patient had planned his PAS out and his end of life out, he could have had some friends and family there. Instead, he was waiting for death and ended up alone. But again, not using this option I totally respect, but I believe people should have the option.
So what do you generally see when people refuse PAS?
So we see a lot of symptoms, but mainly the symptoms are pain, depression, anxiety, hunger for air, and a fear of death. Some opponents might argue that this option is unnecessary because other end-of-life options exist like hospice. But as seen here, this patient was in end-of-life care and on painkillers, but it was simply not enough to take away the pain. He was still in a lot of pain. I believe hospice is not enough in some situations, so this option should be available for those who want it.
Well, it's very interesting, and if you watch the episode, you'll know the patient was able to say his goodbyes before finally resting.
Well, it's always sad to give up on a patient, but I see it as recognizing the facts and ending their pain.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, Doctor.
You're welcome. It's been great to be here.
That's all the time we have today. Until next week on The Post-Op.